we will discuss how yoga can help you abide in your true nature. One of the purposes of any yoga is to suppress the modifications of the mind so that a yogi can experience peace and abide in his true nature or his essential nature, Svarupa, Avasta. Now you may wonder what essential nature means and how anyone can abide in it. Words can be confusing, especially when their meaning can be interpreted differently by different people. We are not going to discuss here the metaphysical or abstract notions of essential nature or the mindful self. We are going to speak about it purely from a practical perspective, in a way which makes sense and which you can identify in yourself. Your essential nature is you minus all the external and worldly influences, or minus all that which builds in you and your consciousness, and which is not you, or whose source is not you, but the world outside. Let us pay attention to your own consciousness so that you can understand these ideas better. A part of your consciousness is your surface consciousness. It arises from the world or from your interactions with it and remains as your experiential memory. Since it mirrors the world and is created by it, it is prone to disturbances, fluctuations, or modifications, vrittis. It is where you experience restlessness or stressful emotions such as anger, envy, fear, greed, pride, etc. It is active when you are drawn into it due to desires and attachments and become deeply involved with its things and objectivity. Your surface consciousness is not your true nature. It is your masked nature or your public persona. You show it to the world to hide yourself and fit into its judgment or expectations. It is you as the world wants to see you or measure you. This surface consciousness of yours is conditioned by the world, influenced by the world, bound to the world, and depends upon the world to reinforce itself. It is entirely made up of your experiences, perceptions, interactions, and memories of the world. It is sculpted and hewn by the world in the furnace of numerous influences and emotions so that you will be bound to it and align with it to fulfill your desires or pursue your goals. This consciousness of yours is not truly you. It does not represent your true nature or your Svarupa, Avasta. It is your worldly self which forges your relationship with the world and helps you survive and succeed in it without being oppressed by it. Just as the world is impermanent and chaotic, this part of your consciousness is also chaotic, fickle, and unstable. As long as you are actively involved with it and centered in it, you will not find peace or stability. You will be constantly driven into seeking and striving to pursue your desires and personal agendas to preserve yourself. Now, there is another part of your consciousness which you experience in quiet moments. It comes to the surface when you relax or withdraw from the world or take a temporary break from it, or when you are alone or lost in your thoughts or engaged in contemplative practices. It serves as your sanctuary where you can find relief from the pressures and influences of the world and be yourself or true to your thoughts. When you are centered in it, you have an opportunity to pay attention to yourself, know yourself or your deeper thoughts and concerns, or acquaint yourself with your true feelings and emotions. There, you can become reflective, thoughtful, mindful, observant, discerning, rational, self-aware, inquisitive, expansive, passive, and so on. It is where you have to abide in your restful, attentive, and awakened or intelligent awareness, free from the influences and disturbances of the world. It is where your buddhi or discerning intelligence shines, and where you can practice right thinking, right knowledge, right judgment, and right attitude to overcome the impurities of your mind or find solutions to your worldly and spiritual problems. This calmer and reflective self in you represents your true nature or your Svarupa Avasta. It comes to the surface and becomes your natural state when you are not engaged with the world or when you practice yamas and niyamas, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and so on. As you become increasingly established in it, you will increasingly abide in your true nature and bring out your uniqueness, individuality, creativity, intelligence, etc. You will be sensitive and attentive to your own thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and stop pretending to be someone or trying to be someone which you are not. You will be honest and truthful to yourself. Therefore, if you want to be true to yourself, be in touch with yourself or know yourself, you have to be more reflective, thoughtful, contemplative. You have to find time to be alone and ponder over your life and actions or your thinking and behavior. If you want to reinforce this habit, you can practice yoga, which is one of the most inexpensive and transformative tools in the world to improve yourself and be more introspective and attentive or mindful of the world which exists in you and around you. Thanks.